Now that you've learned about levels of measurement and measures of central tendency, let's see how to do it in SPSS. So go to Blackboard, click on the GSS 2014 data set, or open up SPSS, and you can go to File, and Open, and Data, and you can open that file up wherever you've stored it. For this example, I'm using the 2008 GSS dataset. You'll be using the 2014 GSS dataset, the one that's on Blackboard. I'm using 2008 for strategic reasons. So what you'll do is you'll come into SPSS once you have the dataset open. Hopefully you've selected some variables here. And you want your variable to sort of make sense in your mind that one could predict the other. We're not doing anything with prediction yet, but down the road you want those variables to be able to predict each other. So would it make any sense that whether or not you have confidence in the military will predict the respondent's age? Not so much. It would more be the other way around. Maybe your age would be associated with your confidence in the military, but changing your confidence in the military won't change your age. That just happens no matter what. So anything that's sort of more permanent is generally considered an independent variable, a predictor. Most of you will probably have variables that could go either way. You could convince me either way. So you want to make sure about that, and if you have a question, run it by me. But today I'm just going to pick a couple of variables at random, and in this case, let's see if maybe your age does predict your confidence in the military. Again, we're not going to do any prediction, but let's start checking out these variables and looking at some of their key characteristics, getting ready to later on in the course do those predictions. So, and indeed one of the first things you do in research is usually to look at the descriptive statistics for your variables. In this case, we're looking at measures of central tendency. So here's the age of respondent, and it's nice to note the variable name, which here is just age. It was nice and easy. Confidence in the military is con army. So it can kind of help to have those in mind, and I'll show you why. Now what you're going to do is click on Analyze. We are in Descriptive Statistics, and everything in this tab, it just means we're not predicting anything yet. We just want to get to know our data a little bit. So the very first one is called frequencies. That's what we're going to use. It may not make sense. You may be tempted to go to descriptives, but we just start off from frequencies. So the very first thing is the first thing we start with. And now clear out if you have anything in here, which you shouldn't. We can get to our variable. A lot of this is in alphabetical order, but not all of it. It actually kind of loses. See, once you get past R, S, and then it starts to go back into E's and T's. So an easy way can be to just click anywhere in here and start typing your variable name, and it should come up. And then click here on this arrow, or you can double click and it will move it over. So now I need to find con army, so I click again and I start typing. There's my variable. Again, I can use the arrow or just double click it. Now we go into statistics, and because you are the human being, you need to tell SPSS which of these to do. So we've talked about the mean, the median, and the mode as measures of central tendency, and we've already described that in this lesson module. But you need to decide which of those are appropriate for your variable. So for age, it's a number. It's considered an interval ratio level variable. So we can compute the mean, the median, and the mode per the table that we showed in this lesson module. However, for confidence in the Army, it's not a pure number like this. So I'm going to back out for just a second. We'll go to con Army. If you click the number next to it, it'll highlight the whole row to make it easier to track. And if you go under values here, you can hover right here on the right and it'll bring up this blue box with dots in it. Click on that. So these are the values that this variable can take: a great deal, some, or hardly any. So this is indeed ordinal. It increases from almost no confidence up to a lot of confidence. So this is ordinal, and with an ordinal variable, per our table in this lesson module, you can find the median and the mode, because we can find the most common response, which is the mode, and because it's ordinal, we can line all the responses up in order and find that middle response. So again, for age, we can do mean, median, and mode. For confidence in Army, we can just do median and mode. So this is a huge part of your assignment. It's up to you to decide which things to include here. So go back to Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Frequencies. Clear out these that it keeps wanting to put in. I'll put age and Con Army back in. Go back to statistics. Now in this case I do need the mean, median, and mode for one of the variables and just the median and mode for the other. So I'm going to go ahead and just leave them all checked. Okay, and they'll be in the outputs, but you need to make sure that if it puts something inappropriate, that in your report to me for the assignment you specify which are appropriate, and then you'll get credit. So once you do that, we click continue. If you have display frequency tables checked, let's just uncheck it for now because we're going to deal with that next week. And we don't want anything more in here to confuse us. So just click OK. And it takes a while for the outputs to come here sometimes. And now we have age of respondent. The mean is 47.71, which is the arithmetic average. The exact middle number is 47.0. And the mode is 50, so the most common age in here is actually 50. Now, confidence in the Army, we have these numbers, okay? Again, we don't want to use the mean, so don't report this. You're going to copy and paste this into your report. You can just right-click and copy, and then paste it into your report in Microsoft Word or whatever. But you need to write down which of these are appropriate. So here you would report the mean, median, and mode for age. But for confidence in the military, you won't report the mean. You report the median, which is 1, and the mode, which is 1. But you don't want to report those numbers because we know they just stand for something. This means the data set, they just put those numbers in to represent how confident someone is in the Army. So we want to go back over to our variable view, back to Con Army, and review this again. And we see that 1 is a great deal. So the sort of average confidence in the Army is a great deal of confidence. And that will be your report then. So you have for age, mean 47.71, median 47.0, and mode 50. And for confidence in the military, you have median, which is extremely confident, and mode extremely confident. And that's how you do it. So if you have any questions, your specific situation will vary. So please don't hesitate to email me or ask or post on the Q&A form if you have any questions.